Hi, I'm Verla Harrell. I'm just excited today. I want to show you some things that I think are really fun to do. And you think, well, that's too much of a challenge, but you know what it isn't? Because I've told you before, and I'll tell you so many times, if you can see it, you can paint it. So you just simply look at it and you decide. So today, I'm kind of talking to you about doilies. Well, but before I do, I want to show you something that I think really can add to your supplies for your art painting. You know, so many times in our houses, our lights are not real bright, or maybe we don't have a north window in our studio so we can paint good. But this is an Uplight. And the thing about this Uplight, you just plug it in and you lift the thing up and it gives you true daylight. It's really good to paint by. Now, I should tell you, after you've had this thing setting up for a while, you do not want to move it until the thing's cooled off because it really does get hot. Well, I haven't had it on a long time, so I'm going to close it. But I want you to look because now with Christmas coming, when sales come, you may find this on sale and it will be well worth your time to get an Uplight, and I just wanted to share that with you. I have pretty good light now, but at one point I didn't, and so I had to use an Uplight. So that I wanted to share that with you. Well, you know, when we get to painting, um, sometimes there are also memory things, and I have to show you this because this is special to me. This is called Grandma's handiwork. The reason it is because this tablecloth was done by Gordy's mother. She did all kinds of crocheting. So this is the crocheted tablecloth. And then she grew strawberries. Well, one of the things that I kind of have a thing about, and I know a lot of people use the stuff that's kind of like the rubber cement, but I don't like to use that. I like to do my own painting and go around. So these little strawberries, all those little tiny holes, all those little white spots, just go all around and you can do it and do it and do it and you can end up with a beautiful piece. And it's crazy, but these strawberries, because they were done with transparent colors, you know what I did first? You're going to think this is crazy, but when I first painted these strawberries, I painted them first with new gamboge. I drew them with my new gamboge. That's a very transparent color. So I drew them first with that. And see, then little by little, I added more red. There's a little bit of cobalt blue here for shadow. These strawberries have 9 coats of watercolor paint on it, but it makes them awesome. And then you'll notice I did the dark background. I love the dark background, but see, it's good against the red and green. Red and green's always good to do in a painting. So I did that, and then my little basket. But I love doing the doilies, but what you do is you simply look at where the holes are. You can look at them. You set it up. Look at my table here that a man made for me so it can represent. It can represent a table so I can look at my doilies when I paint them. I want you to see this because this is so neat because you will see the doily here and it's reflected here. But the thing I want to show you, look at this. This little basket has little tiny lines. Whenever you're painting any little tiny lines, what you do, I'm going to show you in green here so I can just show you on my paper. So what you do, roll your brush in the paint so you've got lots of paint on there, and then you hold your brush straight up in the air, and you make a tiny fine line. It's amazing. You can do a tiny fine line. So you might find something that has little tiny lines and you think, oh, I can't do that. Yes, you can. Take your time. It's not a fast thing, but you can do tiny fine lines. And it's just awesome to paint. Well, now I have to tell you, when I painted that, it took me several times because it makes your eyeballs tired to do those tiny fine lines. So I'd let me rest, and then later on I would go back and do more of that. But I want you to look at this doily. See all the shadows in this doily? Well, I want you to see my little thing that I've made here with the different values. There's 10 of those. That's a great color, but it's just good to look at the different shades of stuff, the different values. Everything will not be the same. And if we made it the same, it'd just be block. But you want to see how the doily is, see how it's shadowed here. It's shadowed from the bread thing that's there. It's shadowed from here, just the way it's folded. It's crazy how it's shadowed, but it's not all the same shadow. Here's a light shadow, here's another shadow, and here's a darker shadow. There's another color. There's several different colors of those shadows in there, and then even of the holes. The holes will not look all the same because of the way the light is reflected. So I'm going to look at this. I love those doilies. And they come in so many different things. And another thing that's neat to do is even lace. You can even do lace. And it'll take some time. But what's time? You can do it. You can do it. So I'm going to do this doily. And it's not going to be, I'm going to mix you just a little bit. It'll just be kind of a tannish color. But I'm going to have lots of water in it. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to look at that doily right there. And I'm going to see how that doily is. Now, first of all, I've got this this is my table, okay? So I'm going to take this and I'm going to pretend like this is my doily. So in order to paint this thing, this doily is hanging over, it's hanging over the side. So I'm gonna come around here and I'm just gonna paint the holes. All I'm doing is painting the holes. It's crazy. You can paint holes just by looking at them. You don't have to draw them, and you'd be amazed what you come up with, and you think, oh my, I did that. Yeah, you can do that. So start looking at what is before your eyes and you will be amazed what you can paint. Now see the watercolor, you know the watercolor, as it dries, it can turn a lot lighter. So you may have to go back over it and then just paint some more. But you can do that. Just do it little by little. But that, and then when I get done with this doily that's all around, then I'm going to want to paint my table that's shining out from here. So I'm going to put, I'll tell you what, you know the colors that I use the most on my palette over and over and over again are cobalt blue and my new gamboge, because they just mix with everything. So I'm going to, see now look at that when I did that brushwork. See, that's dry brush. Dry brush is when you barely, I've got paint in there, but you just barely touch the paper and you do it dry brush. I love doing dry brush. Dry brush is good to do. You use that in landscapes. You can do it on a, wow, is that fun? I kind of like that. And that's my table, but, and see my table isn't really that wide, but I can make my table wider. But then that doily's hanging over there. And then you can have your pot up here. You can have a pitcher. You can do a bouquet of flowers. Do whatever. Just make some doilies. You will like it. I'll bet you if you go in your closet, you're going to find one of Grandma's doilies. And you think, oh, I'm going to paint that doily. Have fun, people. Paint some doilies. Okay, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. If you enjoyed the video, give me a like, and I'd appreciate you subscribing to my channel. Thank you.